Alright guys, this is going to be a kind of a strange MMA diary because there's two cards this weekend. Well, actually there's three. There's also a World Series of Fighting card on Saturday, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to sort of mention it, mention the main event. Nothing really. But there's the Bellator card, and then there's the UFC card. I'm going to go through each one of them with predictions, and they're not going to be. It's not going to be great analysis or like previews or anything, but just gonna pick who I thought might win, and sort of go over some news and notes that also happened during the week. So here I got Gracie versus Mark Munoz. I sort of thought Munoz was the closest thing to Ken Shamrock that could get Gracie to fight. You know, he's sort of a wrestler, good at grappling. You know, his jiu-jitsu game's not amazing. Stand-up game's, you know. It's as close as I can get, so just bear with me. So the Kimbo Dada 5000 Shamrock Gracie fight is happening tonight, Friday, February 19th of 2016. It's going to happen in a few hours. I'm recording this at about 3 o'clock. So by the time this gets uploaded, I'm going to have to make sure I upload this first. That way everyone knows my predictions were valid. But yeah, as soon as I'm done making all my videos, I should be able to go right into it and start watching it. So here's my predictions for the Ken Shamrock Gracie card. Main event, open weight fight. Shamrock weighed in at like 200 and some, and then Hoist weighed at like 190, so it's about a 10-pound weight difference. Not terrible, but you know, maybe significant. I'm gonna pick Ken Shamrock. I don't know if Hoist is gonna be able to. You know, this is a weird fight. It could go either way. If I had to pick a way that I for sure thought it would go, it would probably be Hoist submitting Ken. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think Hoist has got the strength to submit people anymore. I hope no one gets hurt during this fight. I'm really concerned about it. But the next fight, heavyweight fight between Kimbo Slice and Dada 5000. I watched the Dogfight documentary. I watched the Kimbo documentary on Spike TV. I am really sort of curiously interested in this fight. Like, I think Kimbo's gonna smash Dada. That's what I got. I got Kimbo by KO, probably in the first round. But how fun would it be if Dada beat Kimbo? There's gonna be, you know, most people are all like, make peace with each other after the fight. I think that this could go very poorly after the fight. I think they're going to have to get some people in there to make sure that they don't really keep going after each other after the fight's decided. So those are the two sort of circus fights. But there's also a nice light heavyweight fight between Emmanuel Newton and Linton Vassell. Those guys are both in the light heavyweight tournament. I think they were the first fight of the heavyweight or light heavyweight tournament, weren't they? Oops, shit.
With a good left kick to the midsection, and he decides to stand up here.
No, I think one of them lost to King Mo, but I don't remember. That's a long time ago. That Dynamite show happened in the summer. It's now almost a full year later from that show, I think. Or no, it's about half a year. Don't quote me on any of this. So I got Emmanuel Newton. I think it should be a fun fight. That should probably be the best fight on the card.
Good front kick to the body by Munoz.
And then a lightweight bout between Melvin Gillard. Remember that guy? That crazy guy? Melvin Gillard and Derek Campos. Pretty sure Melvin Gillard's going to win, because I think Derek Campos is he either got replaced or he's a short-term replacement. I'm not positive. I just know that Melvin's original opponent had to drop out due to an injury. Oops, shit. And then, I don't know, Emmanuel Sanchez or Daniel Pineda, I believe. Featherweight bout, the first fight of the evening. But I'm going to pick Emmanuel Sanchez. He seemed like the more impressive of the two. From what I just briefly saw, I don't, you know, I'm going to put that on my record. I'm going to go through and I'm going to figure out what my record is between all these predictions. So I'm not happy about putting that on my predictions, but I'm going to do it because it's the entire main card I predicted this night. I'm excited. I was listening to Chael Sonnen's podcast this week, and it was recorded a few weeks ago before the Iowa caucus, but he had on Pat Miletich. And he was saying that, you know what, I'll fight the winner of Hoist and Ken. I don't give a fuck, I'll fight him. So, that might be kind of fun to turn Bellator MMA into sort of a senior league fighting tournament. Sort of like there's a senior golf tournament, or a senior golf league. Let's have a senior MMA league. But you can't keep headlining your shows with these people. You sort of have to maybe put Benson Henderson on the top of one of these cards, and then have a Pat Miletich versus Ken Shamrock fight or something. So, that's Friday night. This card is tonight, Friday night. Then the next card, World Series of Fighting, is on Saturday night. It's a bantamweight fight card featured by Marlon Moraes. I believe that's how you say his name. And the 2 through 4 ranked bantamweights in the World Series of Fighting, which make up the main and co-main fights. Marlon Moraes was on the MMA Hour this week with Ariel Helwani, saying that he's pretty sure he's going to go to the UFC after his contract's up. And I think, from what I hear about him, he sounds like he could be a legit bantamweight in the UFC, sort of like an Eddie Alvarez, Gilbert Melendez type, where they're sort of at the top of their game in other promotions, but when they come to the UFC, they sort of find out where they really stand. I think that'll be interesting. I'll definitely watch the main event and the co-main, sort of get a better idea of what the bantamweights are like in World Series of Fighting. I try and watch World Series of Fighting. The problem is that there's just not that many good fights on there.
Just misses with the left.
But yeah, it's full MMA weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Sunday night we have the Cowboy versus Cowboy fight.
Landing 59% of his strikes.
Whoop. Tried to clinch up. Cowboy versus Cowboy fight, who was originally supposed to be Cowboy versus Tim Means, but he got popped by USADA. And Tim Means was also supposed to fight someone else, I think, for the Pittsburgh main event card, but then that person pulled out. So now it's Cowboy versus Cowboy, which should be a fun fight. I think it's going to be better than most people think, or most people just think Cowboy's going to win pretty easily. Well, the Cowboy Cerrone. Oh God, I freaking went to itch my nose, and then what does he know? He goes for a takedown. But I'm still picking Cowboy Cerrone. I think that I think Cowboy Cerrone just has something to prove after that loss to RDA.
Into a double wrist lock position, then crank his opponent's hand.
Ooh, got him. That's right. Hoist Gracie, Jiu-Jitsu Master, submits Mark Munoz in the second round. What's good, fam? But yeah, Cerrone has something to prove after his loss to RDA. He's moving up to welterweight for this fight. I think Alex Oliveira, he takes short notice fights a lot, and he's pretty good at them. I think he has like a pretty good record with short notice fights. But Cerrone has never lost back-to-back fights, so I think Cerrone's going to come in there hungry, get that paycheck, get that knockout of the night. Derek Brunson versus Juan Coronero, I don't know, some Brazilian guy. Not really familiar with either of these fighters, but I'm picking Brunson. I think Brunson could be going into the top 10 with a couple more wins. But like I said, I'm not too familiar with these guys. I know the name Derek Brunson, so I'm going to pick him. Dennis Bermudez versus Kawajiri. I think they're featherweight fighters. This is probably my favorite fight of the card. I'm going to pick Dennis Bermudez. But I think it should be fun. You know, I think it's 8 versus 12, so pretty closely matched skill-wise. And I'm going for Bermudez. It should be fun. Like I said, So Cody Garbrandt versus frickin' John Lineker was supposed to be the fight. That would have been an awesome fight. I would have loved that fight. That fight would have been so good. Instead, Lineker got some sort of virus from a mosquito, so he's out. Short notice. Replacement is Augusto Mendez. Short notice fights are weird, especially for the person who's been training for the fight for so long for this one specific opponent. But I'm still going to pick Cody Garbrandt. I think he's pretty damn talented. I wonder if they have Cowboy at welterweight. I don't know why they would, but we'll check. It appears that they do not. Nope. So let's go down to lightweight. We'll get Cowboy. And then we'll just throw him up against someone like Ross Pearson. Kind of like him. Nah, not really. I don't know. So yeah, Cody Garbrandt over Augusto Mendez. Chris Camozzi versus Joe Riggs. Camozzi, he got beat by Jacare a bunch of times in a row. I think he's still kind of talented, so I think Joe Riggs is sort of over the hill. So I'm going Camozzi there. And then Shane Campbell versus James Krause. That should be a fun fight. I'm going Campbell over Krause. So, let's go over all my predictions here. I'm going Shamrock, Kimbo, Manuel Newton, Melvin Gillard, Manuel Sanchez, Donald Cerrone, Derek Brunson, Dennis Bermudez, Cody Garbrandt, Chris Camozzi, Shane Campbell. Pretty much chalk, I guess, but I think that Krause-Campbell fight's competitive, and I think Kawajiri is going to make it competitive against Bermudez, but I think Bermudez is actually a beast, and he'll probably get it done. So, some other news and notes of the week before we end this video. We got Rampage Jackson settled his dispute with Bellator MMA, so he will be fighting in Bellator for Scott Coker, which should be interesting. I think that
and he ate a front kick.
Rampage is still a name, and with free TV, he will be all over it, and he will be making, well, who knows, maybe his sponsorship money sort of dried up since he's been out of the public eye for so long. I mean, his last fight was in Toronto against Fabio Maldonado, and during that pathetic Mighty Mouse card. Man, that card is bad. Oh, fucking head kick knockout. Wow. Dope. So yeah, Rampage Jackson, new 2-fight deal with Bellator, and all legal issues appear to be resolved, and UFC won't interfere. So Benson and Rampage, 2 names in a week, and they also signed some Russian guy. Look at that, head kick KO. Awesome. Let's just watch that. Boom, boom. You're done. Sweet.
Watch this again here.
Awesome.
Perfectly.
Those are 2 big names for Bellator that they should be happy to have, and they'll be that'll raise their public profile. Next order of business: Alistair Overeem signs a new contract with the UFC and will be headlining the Rotterdam, Netherlands card, potentially against Cain Velasquez when you consider that Junior Dos Santos, Ben Rothwell, Fabricio Verdum, and Stipe Miocic are all signed a deal, signed to contracts, or signed to fights. That Cain Velasquez is the last big fish for Alistair to really fight before he gets a title shot, so that should be a good card, or a good fight. It's also announced that Stefan Struve will fight Bigfoot Silva on that card as well. So, and then also Aljamain Sterling re-signs with the UFC, and in my opinion, he'll probably be fighting for the title by 2017, if not sooner. So that's good news for the UFC. They lost out on Ben Henderson, but they get back Alistair and Aljamain. Aljamain Sterling, I think, was actually a pretty key free agent, because I think he could make his name elsewhere and become like a pretty big star. I think that kid has some charisma to him. So, final news and note of the day is that Ronda Rousey, yeah, she thought about killing herself after her loss to Holly Holm. pretty concerning to hear. I don't think she should be fighting if that's the first thing that, or if that's one of the things that runs through her head after losing to Holly Holm. Like, that's way too much pressure to put on yourself if you're gonna consider killing yourself over losing an MMA fight. I mean, she's still gonna be in that Roadhouse movie, isn't she? And she is on a swimsuit, Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover, so I think her life is pretty okay. But it's still pretty concerning. She's probably get that straightened out with some psychiatrist. But yeah, I just thought that was worth noting that she said that. I think she was crying on Ellen about it. I didn't watch the news, I just read the headline. It's pretty sad. And trying to think if there's anything else worth noting. There was a Paige Van Zandt picture of her trying to tie her shoes or something. I'll post a link to that in the video, or in the comments of the, or in the description of the video. You should check that out because that is a very nice photo. I think I might make that my background for a while. So, busy week in MMA, busy weekend in MMA, and we're closing in pretty rapidly on March 5th, which I believe is the Conor McGregor Rafael dos Anjos fight, so that will be a big major thing. Holly Holm fighting Miesha Tate. I will be previewing that card for sure. And also, next weekend. Hell yeah, next weekend is Michael Bisping versus Anderson Silva, so I'll be previewing that card as well. That is a fun fucking fight, and I'm very excited for that. I don't know what else is on the... Like, Gegard Mousasi's on the card. I'm not sure who he's fighting though. But, like I said, fun card. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.